Happy Monday to you guys. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Every week, I come into your life on Monday, or you can get this on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podcast Republic, YouTube. I think we got like 1,074 videos on YouTube, something like that, right? Every Monday, I do a live Super Coach show, and today is going to be a great topic because the topic is the biggest fight you are facing. And I would be curious to see if you even know what the biggest fight you're facing is, because many people don't have an awareness of what they don't even have an awareness of, right? It's like you lack awareness in this area. So today, I'm going to tell you from a coaching perspective. On Friday, I spoke to 500 people. I flew to Florida for an incredible publishing retreat. I was working out this morning at 6 a.m. at F45, and I can tell you the biggest fight that people are facing. That's what we're talking about, because on Super Coach, every week we multiply your life, we multiply your money, and we multiply your business. Come on back to see what the biggest fight you're facing is.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Micheal Burt is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
All right, here we go, guys. Monday. What's up, everybody? Lily Munoz, congratulations on purchasing your ticket to the Comeback Campaign with Tim Story. I'm proud of you. Megan Farrell, how you doing? Justin Myers, how you doing, big guy? Justin was with me this weekend at the Seaside Retreat. Incredible retreat. 3 days, Seaside, Florida, talking about one thing, how to take a concept and monetize that concept. How to write the book of your life. How to take something and make it bigger. So it's called the Monster Publishing Retreat, and I spent 3 days with a small, intimate group of people down at our house in Seaside, and it was incredible. It's always incredible. Every time people go down there, how could you not enjoy being in Seaside for 3 days, learning about something you're interested in with really cool people? Had a great time, a great experience, right? And I come back on Sunday. I fly back Sunday morning. And my wife and kids are in Chattanooga with their brother, and then I come back, right? So I got to kind of date myself, bachelor pad, you know. And I get up this morning and I go to F45. I've kind of have a stake in an F45, which is the fastest growing franchise in America, really in the world. 2,000 franchises. So I'm rounding people up, Jack. I'm getting them excited. I'm like, we're going to work out at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. It's going to be the greatest workout on the planet. You're going to push hard. You're going to feel like $1 million. Boom. You're going to feel it, right? Everybody's like, I'm in. And then I get there this morning. I'm like, where's some of the people at, man? Some of the folks booked the day but didn't show up. Now, what happened this morning? Now, here's my point, guys. And I'm thinking about this because my team, I meet with my team. I just finished meeting with them. And we talk about what's the struggle, what's the fight, what's the deal. Friday, I spoke to 500 insurance agents. I made an incredible offer, and some of them took action. Not as many that needed to take action. So when a person needs to do something, but they don't want to do something, what's the biggest fight that they're really facing every day? This is simple. The biggest fight you're facing is complacency. The biggest fight you're facing in your life is apathy. The biggest fight you're facing in your life is comfort. The biggest fight you're facing is, hey, I'm tough enough to get what I have, but I'm not tough enough to get what I want. That's the fight you're facing. You should hear the phone calls. If we could let you listen into the phone calls. Oh, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, Sharon Lecter's coming. Sharon Lecter sold 42 million copies of a book. She wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. She's become incredibly wealthy. She knows how to make money. She's coming to my lodge August 20th. Hey, Tim Story, who's coached every major celebrity in Hollywood's coming. I'm good, man. I'm good. Good making $50,000 a year. Okay? I'm good. I'm busy. Got a good life. Folks, only you, John Dalton, can make this decision, Dale Childress. Only you can make this decision for you if you're going to live a good life or you're going to live an incredible life. You're going to do ordinary things, common things that any old cat could do, or are you going to do extraordinary things? Are you going to be tough enough to get what you have, but not tough enough to get what you want? Lisa Marie, only you can make that decision. The biggest fight, come and listen to the phone calls we have in a day. Go down there and listen to Judge Graham and Matt Monero on scaling a business. Now, why would I do that? Because you got a business that's been stuck for 22 years. And you want to get around somebody who's actually scaled a business, made millions of dollars, produced it or not. That's what you got to ask yourself, guys. Is that good is the enemy of great, Peter O'Neill. We're going to stay where we are, making the income we're making, or we're going to go do something legendary, man. That's the whole concept of being a monster producer, is you're doing legendary things. Okay, I'm working on a concept with 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Hall of Fame NFL players. And the concept is go beyond. There's a level even beyond the Hall of Fame. Right? And just by the way, you don't get to the Hall of Fame on a 2-8 team. How many Hall of Famers you know were on a 2-8 football team? Just average, guys. So many people are out there. We're calling on trying to help them, and they're just good, man. I'm just good. Ain't about the money, by the way. Okay, if you want to make $50,000 a year, so be it. It's your life. If you want to make 80, so be it. If you want to make 400, so be it. Okay? On Friday, when I spoke to these insurance guys, I said, I want the number one dude in the whole company to stand up. And he stood up, and I said, man, do you want to be number one at this company, or do you want to be number one on planet Earth? Like, we can strut around and say, well, hey, we're good, man. There's always somebody doing it better. So what's the fight that you're in? You're in a fight of complacency. You're in a fight of apathy. You're in a fight of action. You're in a fight, right? You're in a fight to get to the next level, to the other side, to reach your potential, to activate your prey drive. That's what you're in a fight for. So you're going to need some things in your tool shed. You're going to need confidence. Confidence that if you can see it in your mind, you can make it happen. I'm building this greatness factory. Okay, and Tim Story and I are going back and forth, and Tim's coming to town August 20th for the Shout Tour or the Comeback Campaign, Celebrity Life Coach. And he said, man, Walt Disney walked in to a theme park, and he said, I want to do it different. I want to do it better, and dadgummit, it's going to be magical. He saw it in his mind. He wanted it to be different, he wanted it to be better, and he wanted it to be magical. You got to look and say, look, I want it to be different. I want it to be better. And dadgummit, Daniel Hodges, it's going to be magical. I ain't doing it like everybody else. I try to put a greatness factory in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I hope there's some city officials listening to this and watching my show today. Here's what they said. Your building looks too different than every other building. We want it to look like everybody else's. Well, how can it be different and better and magical, Jack, if it looks like everybody else's? Come on, folks. Let's not dumb it down. Let's dumb it up. Okay? And so this is the fight we're in. Let's make it simple. Let's make it common. Let's make it look like everything else. No, that's a fight. What you're really saying is let's make it easy. Let's just push it through and make it easy, because that sounds too complicated, Coach. Right? Complicated. And because it's complicated, we don't want to do it. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some confidence. I wrote a whole book on this called Swag. Confidence is the memory of success. But what really it is an internal knowing that if you make it up, you can make it real. Money doesn't grow on trees. It grows in the freaking garden of your imagination. And if you can dream it, you can make it. There's another Walt Disney saying. If you can think of it, you can do it. But what happened to people? What happened to people is they said, man, hey, let's just do it average, Jack, because average is cheaper. And let's just get the cheapest option. Let's get the cheapest insurance. Let's get the cheapest doctor. Let's get the cheapest coach. Let's get the cheapest house. Let's get the cheapest car. Okay, then we can't figure out why it breaks down, because it's ordinary, folks. It's common. The biggest fight you're facing is common. Living a common, regular, everyday life, just like everybody else. Let's take the path of least resistance. Let's do the minimum versus the maximum. When a man asks you to go 1 mile, hey, let's go 1/4 of a mile, Jack. In the Bible, it doesn't say when a man asks you to go 1 mile, go 1/4 of a mile. It says when a man asks you to go 1 mile, go 2 miles. D. Hodges, go 2 miles. What about the people that go 4 miles? People that got in there with me this morning at 6 a.m., they went the mile. They went the distance. Okay? Now here's the deal. They're going to feel 1,000,000 times better. They're going to have more confidence, Jack. Their bodies are going to be stronger. They're going to burn 600 or 700 calories. Maybe they sneak in a little Snickers pie at some point. Ain't going to hurt them because they burn them calories up. They got their metabolism going. So today we're talking, Chad Drollinger, the biggest fight we're facing is apathy. It's common. It's ordinary. It's average. Okay? Now, any of you at the end of your life want somebody to stand up at your funeral and like, dude lived an average life. I don't even know what to say about him. Lived an average old common life. He might have helped 3 or 4 people. He might have done something big. He could have done something he was capable of, but he didn't. So you're going to need 3 things, and I'll take a break. Number 1, you're going to need confidence. Do something big, you're going to need confidence. You're going to need courage, man. See, when I made that offer on Friday, Jack, it was so ridiculous, I couldn't even, Roy Frazier's on here. He saw me. The offer I made on Friday was so ridiculous, all 400 people should have taken it. All 400. It should have been no question. It should have been, with this little bald-headed dude in my corner, there's no way I can't produce at a higher frequency. There's no friggin' way. So I'm in. So, but it don't matter how good the offer is. And it don't matter how good the coach is. And it don't matter how good the deal is. What they're really scared to do is invest in themselves. People are so scared to invest in themselves, they don't have courage. They lack courage. Right? They need courage to do what? You're not investing in me, you're investing in you. Okay? And I see it over and over and over and over of people that need something, but they won't do it because they're scared to do it. They're scared to spend the money. They're scared they can't reproduce the money. They're scared they'll lose or fail. Okay? Right? Listen, it's a fight, man. Against average, against common, against ordinary. Walt Disney didn't say, I want to build an ordinary theme park. Hey, let's make it like Lake Winnepesaukah down in Chattanooga. You guys ever been to Lake Winnepesaukah? Hey, they made that one average. They made Walt Disney magical and different and better. If I build real estate, I'm going to say, hey, I want the most common house in the whole street. Make it the most average you can. My wife was telling me when we got this house is probably worth 1.4, 1.5 million. And she said the builder put cheap windows in. And I'm like, what? I hope my wife is watching this. I'm like, we paid $1 million for this house and they put freaking cheap windows in it? Come on, man. How does it make the builder look like a bozo, folks? You don't put cheap windows in $1 million house. So what we're doing here is we're trying to get you out of this freaking mindset of average, common, ordinary. We're trying to get you magical, different, better. We're trying to get you to wake up out of the freaking slumber that you've been in for the last 4 months or last 4 years for some of you. I listen to our sales team make calls every day, and they're sitting there talking to a dude, and he's like, I'm scared to death to spend $200. I'm scared. Oh, Coach Burt's going to push me. Well, why are we on the phone, man? You want Coach Burt to just tell you to stay average? Or would you like to get better today? Did you call in here to get better? Did you call in here to say, I want to stay average? Third thing you're going to need is you're going to need commitment. And when you think about commitment, a commitment is seeing something through to its conclusion. It is taking an idea and seeing it through to its conclusion. Okay? You got to see it through to its conclusion. Some people start and they don't finish, right? Like they start and they go one step. Listen, Matt Monero, my buddy, says this, and Monero and Judge Graham and I are doing this retreat down in Vero Beach for people that want to scale their companies. You got a company and you want to do it, come do it with 2 of the best dudes in the world. And he said to me, Mama lied to us, man. Whoever said the first step is the hardest. I think there's a song about that. The first step is the hardest. First step ain't the hardest. What's hardest, Nate Bailey, is the second step and the third step and the fourth step. See, I coached all last week and all weekend, and I got up and came to work on Monday. I didn't take a day off on Monday. I got up and I came in to work. It's called work for a reason. Okay? It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be like, it's meaningful. It's supposed to be something. So what you're going to need in the biggest fight you're facing is against your own complacency. Anybody send their kids off to school this morning or when school starts back and say, hey, go gradually settle to a place of mediocrity. That's what I want you to do. Hey, bud, I call my kids Bud and Sissy. You guys seen Urban Cowboy? My wife, it drives her crazy. Hey, Bud and Sissy. So I got Bud, that's a new one. He's 8 weeks old. He just lays around, sleeps, and smiles. And then I got Sissy, who's all over the place. I'm not going to send old Bud and Sis to school in the morning and say, hey, here's what I want you to do. Gradually settle to a place of mediocrity. I'm going to say you got to be committed, man. Commitment means you show up when you don't feel like it. Folks, you need confidence, you need courage, and you need commitment. And you need courage to invest in yourself. If you're going to do extraordinary things, you got to get around extraordinary people. Those people that came to that retreat this weekend paid $6,500 to learn how to write a book. But that is nothing compared to the hundreds of thousands of dollars they can make with the book. Okay? And if they went down there and stayed in my house, the house is probably $1,500 to $2,000 a night. You know, so my point to you is we're in this fight, Corey Barrett, and that's what I'm seeing every single day. I'm seeing every day that these people are just scared to death to like be uncomfortable, like do something. Get up 30 minutes early, stay 1 hour later, make a few more phone calls, push a little bit harder, go the extra step. What I'm seeing is this, oh, no. Hey, that'd be too hard. Coach is going to strain me. Brad Lee said that to me once. He said, you're talking about training folks and you're going to train them. Every Monday you train these folks, and every Tuesday, Thursday, Micheal Froge, you train these folks. He said, you might as well say strain these folks, because that's what they're hearing. You might as well strain them people, D. Richard Hodges. Guys, today we're talking about the biggest fight you're facing. It's everywhere. I'm going to show you where it comes from. When we come back, I've got 6 things that erode your dreams. Jack, I'm just getting warmed up today. You're watching Super Coach. I'm on fire. I've been in Florida. I spoke to 500 people in a real room around real people, by the way, on Friday. And I'm just now getting going because I'm tired of being average, man. Tired of playing small. I'm ready to play at the capacity of my potential. Are you with me? Are you in or are you out? So come on back in Super Coach. You can watch this on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podcast Republic. You can watch it on YouTube, or you can just watch it live with me every week. When we come back, I'm going to give you 6 reasons. 6 things that put you right in the funk that you're in, or 6 reasons that erode your dreams, because some of you have let your dreams go to die. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. You're watching Super Coach.
Flipped the switch. I didn't know what to expect, but it definitely did what it was supposed to. It flipped that switch.
Coach Burt is the real deal.
It's very impactful. You know, he looks you in your eyes and he makes sure he gets his point across.
When he's making a connection to you, the connection is real.
Love the fact that we were all able to come together, learn from one another.
He exceeded my expectations beyond my wildest dreams.
You know, I think there's a gear inside of people that many people have not found. There's a switch that has not been flipped. I'm writing a new book that's going to come out in 2021, and in the interim, we're putting together boot camps to test the ideas. This weekend was my first Flip the Switch boot camp, and it was incredible. The only thing I know to say, it was absolutely incredible. Think of it as success camp. Think of it as 24 hours with me on what I would teach myself if I was 20 years old again. Everything I've learned in 44 years of living. Incredible boot camp. Thank you to all the people that came. I can't wait to do another one. Welcome back to Super Coach. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Thank you guys for joining us every Monday. I come into your life here in the studio. I'm at the Greatness Factory. Notice I didn't say it's the Complacency Factory or the Whining Factory or the Lazy Factory. I hear people say it's going to be hard, Jack. It's going to be hard. I think anybody climbs, you know, in 2017, this is an interesting fact, is there were 500,000 people in the United States that made over $1 million of personal income. 500,000. There were only 4,000 that climbed Mount Everest. It's easier to make $1 million than it is to climb Mount Everest, folks. You got to make up your mind where you are going to be in this journey. Okay? I'm going to be 44 in a few weeks, and let me tell you something. I got a long way to go, and I got a short time to get there. And I'm going pro. Going pro means making some decisions. That means cutting away some things. Now, you ask, Coach, what happens? What happens? Why do we end up with this complacency? Listen, my new book on Pray Drive called Flip the Switch is going to be out in 2021. I talk about the biggest suppressor of Pray Drive is satisfied needs. Satisfied needs never motivate people. Only unsatisfied needs. So what happens is you start making a certain amount of income in your mind. You're there. You live in a certain house. In your mind, you're there. And you start taking the easy way out. You don't want to do anything that's hard or could be difficult or could exert force. The meeting with my team this morning was this, Anthony Bush. If you're going to do anything big, you got to exert force and energy toward an area, towards some area of your life, right? Like when I'm doing that F45 workout in the morning, it's not hard. It's 45 minutes. There's people in there out of shape, people never worked out, big people, little people, old people, young people. But a lot of people out there is like, oh my gosh, I got to get up and go work out. Okay, you don't have to. You could just keep being a fat ass if you want to. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, that's a choice we have, right? Like when I was 191 pounds, Jack, I didn't like how I felt. I lost 30 pounds. I didn't like how I felt because I knew I had more potential. Okay, I didn't want to live a common, ordinary life. Now, who's in charge of that life? I am. So, what are 5 things that you got out there in the world? 5 things that how do you get in this funk, number one? Because there's so many. Matter of fact, folks, most of the world is complacent. I don't know if you figured that out or not. Grant Cardone told me in his office one day. He said, you're going to figure this out, coach. Less than 5% of people will ever go do anything you tell them to do. They'll pay. They'll come to class. But they won't go commit. What do you need, folks? You need courage. You need commitment, right? And you need confidence. 3 things you got to have if you're going to do it big. Are you tough enough to have what you have, but you're not tough enough to get what you want, folks? To be tough enough to get what you want, you got to get in there and fight a little bit more. You got to make more phone calls. You got to stay later. You got to come in earlier. To get the shape, to get the abs, to get the arms, to feel good, you got to put the work in. It don't magically happen. People want the abs, but they don't want the diet. Right? They want the diet pill. So when you're thinking about it, what I'm trying to get across to you guys is I'm here and I only want to work with a certain type of person, Jack. Like I'm tired of trying to convince people to come along the journey. Either you want to get better or you don't. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to try to coerce you into it. Are you in or are you out? Do you want to get better or do you want to stay where you're at? Is your desire to stay where you are greater than your desire to move to where you want to go? One of these two is going to win. So there's 5 reasons you get in a funk. These things erode your dreams. Laziness is number 1. What is laziness? Just complacency. Laziness is I let myself go, man. I just let myself go. Okay? And I take, when I have decisions, I make bad decisions. Okay? I choose to be lazy. I choose to take the easy way out. I choose to not think. I choose to not work at. So number 1 is laziness. Number 2 is a decision to stay an amateur. There's pros and there's amateurs. Now, Charles Barkley spoke here in Tennessee, and he got started a little slow, and I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough night listening to him. And then he got better, and then he got better, and then he got really good. And he said that he was out of shape and overweight in high school, but he was so big, so much bigger than everybody else, he dominated. Then he went to college. He went to Auburn because he said Auburn was the worst team in the SEC. And he knew he could play at Auburn. So he goes to Auburn. He's still bigger than everybody else, so he does good. Then he gets to the NBA, and he was out of shape and overweight, and Moses Malone came to him and said, you're never going to play in the NBA. Never. There's only 400 NBA players in the world. And if you want to play, you got to get in better shape. Here's the deal. I work out with you every day at 5 a.m. And he said he went from 292 to 252. And when he went from 292 to 252, he got in the best shape of his life. And he started playing, and he became Charles Barkley. At some point, you got to make a decision to either go pro or stay amateur, and nobody can make that decision for you, guys. Number 3, a decision to be a victim. We are where we are based on every choice we made up until today. This is why poor people can become wealthy. This is why wealthy people can go broke. This is why, you understand what I'm saying? Like you got to get in your mind that we are where we are today based on every decision we've made up until today. If we don't like where we are, it's okay. We can change it. We don't have to stay. Like Tim Story and I are doing this comebacks and confidence, and he said first we sit, right? Then we what's the second step? It's sit something, and then we cement. We sit in our victim mindset, Then we stay there for a little while, and ultimately we cement ourselves in this place, right? You got to make a decision if you're going to fight the funk and allow other people to control your dreams or not. Are you going to allow other people to control your dreams, or are you going to control your dreams? Never place your destiny in another person's hands. Number 4, a decision to stop caring. Now, I get this. You get married, you get comfortable. It's easy to not look good. It's easy to not push hard. You start making some money. You really don't care. Everything's about the easy path. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to go to anything. I don't want to do anything. What happens, Jordan, is we just make a decision somewhere along the way to stop caring. Like, it just don't matter, man. Don't matter how we look. Don't matter how hard we work. Don't matter how we produce. Don't matter how many people we help. We just stop caring. And that's what my sales team says. A lot of people they talk to on the phone is they've kind of just given up, man. Why get coached? Because, man, it ain't going to work. I just gave up. Okay? Number 5, a decision to be stuck where you are. This is where you cement yourself. Okay. This is going to take some curiosity on your part and some interest. Because if you are where you are and you know you have more talent and potential, let's just break it down like this. Every significant breakthrough was first to break with an old way of thinking into a new way of thinking. You can't get new results with old behavior, folks. Every significant problem we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created the problem. That's Einstein. Basically, here's what that's saying. To get there, Tommy Davidson said this, I'm tough enough to get what I have, and that's good, but I'm just not tough enough to get what I want. Right? There's people in this city that I live in, 240,000, worth $200 or $300 million. They tell me at the 505 there's a billionaire that's one of my neighbors at the 505 down there. Hadn't met him yet. I don't know. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. Maybe we've been on the elevator together. How do you be worth how do you be worth $1 billion? You think he just lays around at the 505 all day and thinks? I've never met a lazy person of interest. You think there's people worth 200 million, 300 million bucks, $1 billion just lay around and think about their ideas all day long, or you think they actually do something with them ideas? You think about those people at the publishing retreat, Sean Vernon, are going to go back and think about that book, or are they going to go back and write the book? Right? Number 6 in my final piece is the sum average of the people around you. This is the biggest problem many people watching this have, is you hang around lazy people. You hang around lazy people that just don't do anything big. You got friends, family. People have small dreams. They don't encourage you. They discourage you, which means to take courage away. And what's ended up happening is you become like them. During this COVID period, people wear their pajamas all day. They don't take a shower. They don't shave. They don't get up. They don't get dressed. They don't do anything. Now, you tell me, does that sound like the mark of greatness? Hey, why don't I lay around all day and just lay around and be depressed all day? Biggest thing you're fighting, I'm telling you, is complacency. Now, if you're ready to kick this complacency and come back, then I want to encourage you to do a couple things. Number 1, you need to book right now the comeback tour with me and Tim Story and Sharon Lecter. It's at my lodge in Tennessee. It's 18 days from now. There's already 60-something people registered. There will be 100 people at that event, okay? Out of 240,000 people in this city, 1 million people in Nashville, 100 of them will show up, okay? But you need to be there. It's $299. There's no excuse. If you can't find the money, borrow the money. You've heard me say I borrowed money from my own mother, 25 years old, to go through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It changed my life. You need to be in the room. So August 20th, August 26th in Dallas, the comeback campaign. Me, Tim Story, Greg Kimball, Amanda Williams. Like, I could go on and on. All these people are going to be there, and it's going to be big. Daniel Hodges is going to tell his story on coming back. So if you're out there and you're watching, click, let's take action. Now, why do people contract? And let's close it with this. Why is a simple decision so hard? Why is a simple decision so hard? Because you won't bet on you. You won't bet on you. You're not betting on me. You're not betting on Tim's story. You're not betting on Sharon Lecter, because we've done it. We've done it. We know. We've done it for 30 years, some of us, right? We know it will work. So you're not betting on me. We're going to show up and deliver because we are professionals, not amateurs. You're betting on you. Take a day of your life and come to that lodge and see if it don't change your life. The people that came to flip the switch, Jack, one guy wrote me a testimony, wrote me a letter. He was scared to death to give it to me. He walked up to me almost crying, and he said, here. And he had handwritten me a letter. He said, I've gone to therapy for 10 years and 3 Tony Robbins events. And in 3 days with you, it's better than all of that. That is why you need to be in the room, folks. So let's close it out. Scared, you contract. Expansion means what? Boom. Okay? I want the abs, but I don't want the workout. Okay? If you want the abs, you got to take the workout too, guys. If you want the abs, you got to get the workout. What's up, John and Tiffany Davis? So when you think about it out there, guys, today we've been talking about what is this fight we're in? Why does it seem so hard? How do we get to the other side? How do we live the good life? How do we make an impact? Well, the fight is complacency. The fight is laziness. The fight is this. The fight is, and what I'm trying to do is awaken a spirit in you to want more, to want something, to pursue. Okay? Now, when you study Pray Drive, this new book I'm writing on Flip the Switch, called Flip the Switch, there's something about a dog that it says this. It says the mere ability to pursue the prey is the greatest motivator for the animal. No external reward. Don't miss this. No external reward is greater than the dog's ability just to pursue the prey. That means there's nothing you could give the dog that would be greater than just the freedom for the dog to pursue the prey. It ain't even catching the prey that the dog enjoys. It's the ability to pursue the prey. So thank goodness we woke up today, guys. Every one of you have the opportunity to pursue your potential, to push harder, to go stronger, to fight through the funk, to get up and make it through and keep pushing, Grant Doherty. Remember, Walt Disney didn't walk in and say, hey, I want it to be average, the same, and common. He walked in and said, I want it to be different. I want it to be better. And dadgummit, I want it to be magical. And that's what you're trying to build. Every week I come into your life on Monday. Please download the podcast. Please give me a review. Please come to one of my events. Please get in the room with me. And let's roll, folks. I'm ready. I'm operating at a new gear. Thank you for all the people who've noticed. Can't tell you how many people, Jack, who've called me, texted me, said, man, I don't know what's going on with you, Coach, but you have found a new gear. Here's what's going on with me. I'm fighting the funk, man. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of listening to people whine and complain and make excuses why they can't produce at a higher frequency. I'm sick of listening to phone calls of people going, I'm scared to spend a little money on myself. I'm sick of it. If you want to play at the highest levels, folks, you got to get around people who are great. And you need to be around them every single day as much as you can. The closer you stay to the sun, the hotter it gets. I tell my salespeople, the closer you are to me, this is real simple. The closer you stay to me, the more money you're going to make. And if you want to hide from me, go hide from me. If you want to make money, stay close to me. The closer you get to the sun, the hotter it is. The further you get away from the sun, the cooler it is, guys. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Everybody needs a coach in life. I'll see you August 20th at the Lodge. Richard Pearl, you need to purchase a ticket for that. Me, Tim Story, Sharon Lecter. If you want to be in a room with the woman worth, I don't know what she's worth, but it's a bunch of money. Tim Story coached everybody in the world. Been on Oprah Winfrey. Do you got any friends that's been on Oprah? And if you don't, be good for you to be in the room. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. This has been Super Coach. You guys have been great today.
How do you fight the funk that so many people are in today? When you look at your nature, you're made up of 4 parts: a body, a mind, a heart, and a spirit. And each of those parts produce different needs, different dimensions, different capacities, different intelligences. If you're in a funk mentally, it affects you emotionally. If you're in a funk emotionally, it affects you physically. If you're in a funk physically, it affects you spiritually. You see, I believe we need to fight the funk. And the way we fight the funk is we build, we maintain, and we protect our greatest asset, our confidence, guys. We push every day. The way you fight the funk is by taking action, not letting your mind control your emotions and control you physically and spiritually. I'm in a war, and that war is to fight the funk. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Let me help you out of your funk.